I got hard drive, guys.
All right. You gotta hit some sushi? Yeah.
I used to wonder why men would want to go 50-50 on a date, but then agree to take a cute girl to a festival, buy her like an artist pass, and give her a place to stay, get her outfits, and hook everything up for the weekend. And then it dawned on me that men just can't do shit by themselves. They're not like women. Like, women can be loners, they can do solo traveling very easily, but men are just so codependent. And because they're so insecure, it is really difficult for them to go places and pick up women. It's like a 50-50 gamble if they'll be able to score with the woman. And so it's just easier for them to rent one, basically. And that's honestly what it feels like. It's just an arrangement because they're not in committed relationships with these women, but these women will definitely just go to a festival with them because men can't do shit by themselves. What kind of a society have we become? Maybe we were all just like this and I'm woke. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Worst thing a single person can do when they have found peace and comfort within themselves is get back into a relationship. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Something that I noticed as a woman, and I see the same thing in TikTok in real life, is when you have a life of leisure that you've created for yourself where you only have to work less than 10 hours a week, men don't like that. Men hate it when they have to work 40 plus hours a week and they ask you what you're doing today and you're like, oh, I just went to the gym, now I don't know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day, and it's a work day. They get so angry. Like, the amount of men, like, they're like, what do you do? Like, who's your sugar daddy? Like, just because I don't work 40 hours, I don't get paid by the hour. That's not how I work. So that's why I don't work 40 hours a week. That's not how people get paid. There is a life outside of 9 to 5. But that's why I have to be careful in what I tell people. Like, I'll just say I'm at work now. Like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm just chilling for the rest of the week, trying to find a new Netflix show. Like, that's my job.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
Most men don't marry either. Listen to me very carefully, so y'all can understand what I'm telling y'all. Most men don't want to marry either. A lot are forced into marriage or forced into something that they don't really want to be a part of. They don't want to lose you, but they still don't want to marry you. But when you force them, they say, well, I guess I'll marry her, but I'll still do what I want to do anyway. They want their cake and eat it too. Especially if you got to force them to marry you. They're going to have their cake and eat it too, whether y'all like it or not. Because most men don't want to get married. Okay? They don't want the financial responsibility. They don't want the emotional issues. They don't want to have to deal with you every day. Da, da, da. Most men don't even want to get married. They don't. That's why y'all always saying, how do you make a man marry you? They don't want to marry you. They're going to be in the bar trying to holler at the next chick because they never want to marry you in the first place. So all you need to focus on is getting their money. If you want a man to want to marry you, you got to keep chasing and keep taking his money. All right?
If you need money and you don't want a lecture from her, just call up her mom. That way you can get your money without making her super upset.
Would you say you wifey material? Yeah. What makes you wifey material?
I'm tall, I'm athletic, I'm pretty, I'm funny, I have a good personality, I can cook.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care.
Clean, I have a career.
What's the best thing you can cook?
I don't know.
What a shocker.
Pasta.
Pasta's crazy. Pasta's the easiest thing to cook. If you're sitting there saying that that's your main dish, that's crazy.
That's very true.
It's literally noodles.
But you're not giving me nothing else.
Hard to f that up.
But you're not giving me nothing else. I must know if you can cook if you don't know your best dish.
That's a good question.
Because I try to eat really healthy, so I eat like pretty basic.
It can be good and healthy. That's possible.
I had steak and shrimp for dinner.
Steak and shrimp, no side.
Broccoli.
Broccoli? You seem like a broccoli kind of girl.
What does that mean?
You keep it simple, maybe season it sometime, not all the time.
Okay, don't do me like that. That's great.
Gotcha.
He's gonna be that creative. He definitely shouldn't have to put the groceries away anyways. And hey, you can arrange the fridge exactly how you want it. I don't know, those things called bills? bills that end up in your email every month, and you pay like 16 of them, and then 4 more show up, and then you pay those, and then 3 more show up, and then all of a sudden your bank account's empty, and you're like, okay. Yeah, but bills. Yeah.
So I'm the lady who says you can't be my boyfriend unless you pay my bills after 3 months, and that made some men very angry. So I decided to revise that because I'm about to delete this dating app and just not date men altogether because you guys all are after one thing and you don't understand the concept of investing in a lady. So I said, what can we do here? What can we do? And then a story popped into my mind of a lady who had a boyfriend who would always run from her whenever she was trying to get hanky-panky from him. And turns out he couldn't do that. He had problems in that area because he was older. And I was like, oh my God, why did I think of this? So I changed my status to only interested in generous men who are not looking for a sexual relationship. And 3 of the men I was talking to, 2 of them deleted the chat, and 1 of them said, I'd still like to talk to you. I'm still interested, even if you're not interested in that. There's a market for this. There's guys out there who pills don't work. They're not interested. And he is the oldest one out of the 3. So where am I wrong here? I like to be upfront and honest with people. You want a girlfriend, I want a handbag and some 5-star meals and a nice man who talks to me correctly, who's generous and kind. It's a win-win. And nobody gets to touch me because I've turned into kind of like a don't touch me princess. It's icky, I don't like it.
I want to have a crush on someone who also has a crush on me, but I don't want to be their girlfriend, and I want them to be okay with the fact that I don't want to be their girlfriend. I do want to see this person somewhat consistently. However, I will need 3 to 5 business days in between any interaction that we have, and I don't really want to text that much, especially just to ask what I'm doing, unless we're making plans to do something together. And I want this to be someone that I can do literally anything with, whether that's casually hanging out during the week or going to the gym together or going on a road trip, going skydiving, planning a week-long vacation.
She could have just said the first line and I would have been like, peace out. The second she said she didn't want to be a girlfriend, peace out. That's like damaged goods, right? Because women don't talk like that. Women who are in touch with their femininity, women who haven't been, listening to all the brainwashing, women who are out for the right reasons, women who are in touch with what it means to be a virtuous woman, they want to be a girlfriend.
A lot of these modern women are just flat out masculine. They present as feminine, but they're flat out masculine. They're so focused on being strong and independent and not needing nobody that a lot of times they forgot how to be soft. And that's what men actually want. Femininity, softness, peace, nurturing. A lot of these modern women don't know nothing about that. But they're thinking the stuff that they do and the things that they say, that's attractive. It's not attractive. It's exhausting. Give it a rest.
So here's what I've decided. And here's what I think all women should do who are single and like this age. When going out on a first date with a man, coffee, forget the drinks. Here's what we do, ladies. Trader Joe's. Tell our men, you want to meet? You're going to meet at Trader Joe's. We're going to do a couple of things. We're going to meet there because number 1, fully populated, safe. Okay? Number 2, I want to see how you shop. I want to know what you're eating. I want to know how you snack. I want to know if your snacks are fucking cauliflower or if it's chips and cookies and cake. I want to know if we vibe with our food choices. I want to know how you shop. I want to know how nice you are to the cashier. I want to see it in real time. This is what we're doing, ladies. This. Forget the fucking dinners and the coffees and those meetups where it's kind of like a job interview and we're all on our best behavior. I want to see how you are in a crowded grocery store when the little old lady is, taking up the whole aisle and you have to wait your turn or say, excuse me, I want to see what you do, sir. I want to see what you do. That's my flex. I'm going with it.
There is no job in the world that's harder than being a mom. Really?
Ever met a hot tar roofer? Like, have you ever hung out with a landscaper? Like, I gotta tell you something, that's way harder than being a mom in the suburbs. Like, that is incredibly harder than that. Like, I could name off the top of my head 50 jobs that are harder than being a mom in the suburbs or a dad in the suburbs. Like, I was a dad in the suburbs, and I have to tell you, easiest job I've ever had in my life.
Ooh.
I had to make sure that there was like enough snacks from Trader Joe's. You know, I had to like yell at the kids every now and then. I had to go out and play with them, spend time with them, help them with their homework. This is not difficult.
Yeah.
I was a waiter. That's a hard job. Being a dad was not a hard job.
No, a lot of them ain't gonna like this. Fuck, they're gonna be so pissed that I'm agreeing with it. They're gonna be so pissed that people are literally telling them that being a stay-at-home mom is not the hardest job in the world, because it's not.
This woman sent me a message last night saying like, hey, your content made me realize I was a controlling, anxious woman, and I felt all the time, but it was normalized in my friend group. And that's the thing, is that birds of a feather flock together. And so many women don't know how to relate to one another if it doesn't involve having a common enemy and bashing on other people. And those are the worst types of friendships. They are as stable as a toothpick. And I used to have a friend that hated men. I use that term loosely. It was like a 3-month-long thing because we laughed a lot. We had a lot of fun. There was good back and forth, but she hated men and she would trash talk men. And I was like, hey, look, you can hate men, but please don't talk to me about that around me. Like, I don't relate to that. I don't agree with that. And so she actually doubled down and she sent me men hate propaganda in my DMs. And I was like, what the f is this? Cut her off so easily. No regrets. But my thing about that is like, the thing about that is that it is a huge problem in society where they absolutely enable women's worst behavior. And it's like, oh yeah, no, you should get everything that you deserve in a relationship just by being pretty, just by being a woman, that's enough. That is not women empowerment. That is women enabling. You are enabling their worst behaviors, the things that are actually keeping them away from the relationship that they want, from the man that they want, by telling them there's something wrong with them and they don't need to change. It's like giving cocaine to a drug addict. You are literally enabling the things that are stopping them from truly getting what they deserve, because that is easier than having a hard conversation and being able to be truthful with a friend, because that's what you would do if you really cared about them.
Unfortunately, there seems to be a lot of women out there with that particular mentality. And I'm sure to a lot of you gentlemen out there, it might even seem like it's the majority, if not all, women that feel this way. But rest assured, the vast majority of us actually find that loud minority to be not just distasteful, but disrespectful and downright infantile in their behavior. And I often wonder when I see stuff like this, what exactly do they think that they're accomplishing by doing so? By spreading a lack of that ever so loved term, empathy for other human beings. It's really not making some of them look very good now, is it? Because the only individuals that they happen to be impressing by this type of behavior are women with like-minded mentalities. They're not going to be changing anyone's mind. Unfortunately, they're just making themselves look foolish.
Where it gets lost sometimes from Black women is that there's so many wanting this one black man. There's only one Cam, and they all want this millionaire man. How does every woman get that? It's impossible. One thing I do want to say, I had this test because always women come up to me and they say, Kendra, where's the man at? There could be a man right there. Where's the man at? So I was like, here's the deal. Every lady, for one day, count every single man you see. Every single man. I don't care if he's the Uber driver. I don't care if he's a doorman. I don't care if he's the waiter. At the end of the day, you probably ran into, if you went outside, you probably saw 200-300 men if you went outside. And then they'll be like, but he was an Uber driver. He was a waiter. Like, these men were literally invisible. Now, what if you're invisible to the guy you wanted to see? What if you're invisible? So
What'd they say? Yeah.
Like so it's this is why I said this is we're teaching
on
right?
both sides.
Yeah, on both sides we're teaching. A lot of times you're invisible to the person.
And you can use that same analogy for the dudes.
Yeah. Oh, well, with the dudes, I think men are having, some men, see, you don't have this issue because you actually have money, right? There's some men, okay, well, you don't have, Cam's broke, so I'll take him out. But there's some men that are having a challenge when it comes to getting women. I always tell people this, like, there's only 10% of men that really can have it their way with women. The other 90% have to work, and they got to put the stuff in because they don't have the candy, the glitters that women like to attract the women easily. Like, there's some men who meet a woman and can have sex with her that same day. There's other men that have to court her, she's gonna make them go through all the things, right?
A lot of these modern women want a provider man or a traditional man. How come a man is not traditional? How come he's not like my grandfather? Men used to go to war. Well, I don't think you guys really notice or understand that you said that you were independent and you didn't need a man. You said that men weren't good for anything. You said the traditional way of living was outdated. It was just not something that you were interested in. But you'll notice that a lot of modern women will say traditional things are outdated when it comes to me. I shouldn't have to do the traditional things anymore. But you as a man, I just expect a man to do X, Y, and Z for me. So tradition on my side, but you get to do whatever you want. Got it.
Why is one always hearing about it? That's actually an excellent question. I'm so glad that one asked. And hopefully I'm here to provide some answers. One is always hearing about it because apparently it bears repeating. Because obviously there are individuals out there that are not willing to listen to what men are saying in regards to how they in fact do suffer in silence. Because in case one wasn't aware, it has been perpetuated in society for almost as long as anyone can remember that men must remain stoic, strong at all times, or else they appear to be less manly. Now, individuals out there do seem to perpetuate this idea, men as well as women. And those men that actually stand up for themselves and are tired of being walked on and actually express their feelings and their emotions and the experiences they've been through are being called names. And then there's videos like this that actually make it even harder for men to express themselves and for them to be taken seriously. So perhaps instead of asking questions, perhaps one should start listening.
So I'll admit, I am a little lonely lately. I don't know, I just am. I think I'm also like a little down or whatever, but I would love to meet somebody, but I don't feel like really putting forth the effort. I know that sounds bad. I went on dating, Facebook dating a little bit today, and oh my God, it's terrible. I don't know how I ever met so many people on there. Like, I met a lot of nice guys, and some like were not for me, and some remained friends, and some like I was with for a little bit and I liked, and some quality men that I'm still friends with. But oh my God, it's just a mess. Like, my skits are not a lie. They're not at all. But I'll admit, I'm kind of lonely. But I don't really feel like making the effort of going to sit at like a high-end bar restaurant, not like a bar. Like, I'm not talking about like a random bar, but like a nice like restaurant, like, I don't know, Ruth's Chris or STK at Disney Springs or something like nice, and sit there and just have a drink or dinner or whatever, and possibly I'll meet somebody that way. I just don't really feel like doing that. So I need like the Kool-Aid man in the form of like a great guy to either come through my front door, or I don't know, I'm not sure I'm gonna meet someone, or, and this is gonna sound weird, I kind of want to just be with someone I was with before, like, and just hang out and have a good time and do things together or whatever. I don't really feel like meeting somebody new either, unless they're gonna be really great for me. I don't know, I haven't dated since like end of July last year. I just was having like a few bad dates, one after the other, just not clicking, not like bad dates, just like I didn't feel any chemistry or whatever. So I don't know, I'm a little lonely, but I kind of just want someone I've been with before and kind of just someone to do things with, but that I am attracted to. Is that asking too much?
I've officially decided that I'm no longer a lover girl. I am now a supervillain. I don't believe in love anymore. I have no hope in men. I used to think like, oh my God, no, not all men, not all men. I'm done. I'm just done. Nothing in particular set me off, set me over the ledge. but it's just, I think, the experience I've had as a whole. It's over. No more.
You guys want to see an example of a woman that is defining a specific dating strategy that is so toxic? Here she is.
Sometimes you have to keep forgiving him while looking for someone to replace him. It's called constructive elimination by substitution. Don't let a boyfriend stop you from finding your husband.
Yeah, I think there's already actually a term for this, and it's called monkey branching. It is a strategy that has been used for a long time by a specific type of woman. A woman that really cares more about just moving up in the socioeconomic world through men. She doesn't want to do it herself. She wants to utilize men. So she goes from one man to the next as soon as she finds a man that she deems better. And usually that has to do with him like making a lot more money or having a higher social status. Men are not surprised by this. They see this happen day in and day out. So for you to make a definition that sounds a little bit more appealing to other women and then broadcasting it as if this is something that's totally okay to do, that's a little messed up.
I fear I need a man in my life. I am a strong, successful female. I have a whole career. I got a lot going for me, and I still need a man. Because today the lights went off in my car and said low tire pressure, and I was like, oh. I would love to be able to text someone and go, babe, there's a light on and I don't know what to do. Instead, you have me out here checking tire pressure, putting air in my tire. I'm tired of being strong. I just want to be weak and babied. And I want some man to go, vroom, my baby's in danger. Must get air for her tire.
We're not anti-male. We are pro-husband.
On this page, we are not anti-male. We are pro-husband. We are not part of the my husband is an idiot wife culture. We speak highly of our husbands because we chose well. We are not anti-woman. We are pro-strong feminine women. If any of that resonates with you, you're in the right place.
Ooh, I love it. I love that because I can't scroll through 2 videos without seeing one of these dumb females telling me how much I shouldn't love my husband and how I'm terrible and I'm a pick-me and I'm a man clown because I choose to love and appreciate the man who takes care of me. So when I see videos like this, it really makes me feel good because I'm not the only one who actually loves her husband. I'm not the only one who actually appreciates her husband. There's other women out there like me who truly appreciate the good men and what they're doing out there.
These modern women, they continue to want a provider man. Guy who pays for everything. You know, Kevin Samuels used to talk about, do you want, or he used to ask the question, do you want to work to pay significant bills? You know, and a lot of these modern women said no. And I think the split was usually around 70-30. And really, honestly and truly, a lot of these women wanted 100 to 0. A man's way. You do 100% and I do 0%. I'm remembering a modern woman talking about, I want the man to go to work and work 12 hours a day, and then I want him to come home and split chores with me. What? So they want the man to be in a traditional role, but then they don't want to be a traditional wife, right? A man's not going to really get anything in return but more work, more headache, more grief. Absolutely not.
I have a question for everyone that lives in Austin, Texas. Specifically the men that live in Austin, Texas. Why the are you not going up to girls and approaching them anymore? Why is your favorite activity to just sit and stare at a girl like this? You're glitched, like you're loading. I spent the last 2 years of my college studying abroad in France, where the men would just come up to you on the street and propose. To go from that level of attention to coming back to Austin, having men that are so feminine that they won't even approach you at a bar unless they're blackout drunk, was an insane culture shock. I can't go from men coming up and asking me to marry them to this in Austin. So let me know which dating app I should get on because apparently I can't meet anyone here in real life in Austin. Hinge is way too basic. Everyone complains about it. It is not good anymore. Hobby is the only other app that I've heard good things about, but I've been waiting 3 weeks for an access code, by the way. Do I keep waiting? What do I do? Because I'm trying to find the love of my life out here.
One of the dumbest lies that these women who preach about toxic masculinity say is when they say things like, oh, it's okay for men to be emotional. I want my man to be emotional. I want him to vent to me. Be so for real. You do not want an emotional man. You actually find them repulsive. So sorry to all the men that had to endure that time period where being masculine was the absolute worst character trait you could have. We're kind of still going through that, but I feel like we're kind of coming out of it. But do not listen to these women. They do not want you to be emotional. They are lying to themselves. I am a woman that's not mentally ill. I talk to a lot of other non-mentally ill women on a daily basis, and we all agree that venting is very unattractive. Being hyper emotional as a man is very unattractive. And the thing is, these women that preach about toxic masculinity are actually attracted to Stoicism. They are actually attracted to masculinity, but they have to lie to themselves to fit within the sisterhood. So then they go find an emotional man and they end up hating the relationship. They are completely exhausted by the emotions. And they get so upset when you put men and women into boxes, and truthfully, I think that that's fake outrage. But the thing is, I'm emotional as a woman. Most women are emotional. If my husband was also super emotional, this would never work. It would be exhausting. So how about we just celebrate the differences? How about we just celebrate the masculinity and the stoicism and say, oh, you know what? I need some of that in my life.
I genuinely believe that every single woman deserves to receive $10,000 a month from her husband, from her boyfriend, whoever you're with, just for him to show his appreciation for you.
$10,000 a month for appreciation. Right.
And I think that is a standard that all men should be held to.
Of course they do. It's always those that seem to have excess money that are always very free with everyone else's. But it kind of makes a person wonder, what about those individuals that necessarily can't afford that $10,000 a month?
And as a man, if you cannot hold yourself to that standard, then you should not be dating at all, honestly. I mean, you're just not financially ready to provide. You're not ready to be in the scene.
The scene. Indeed. And for those who haven't done the math yet, that comes to approximately 120,000 American dollars per year just to, in some cases, just date some of these women.
And even more importantly, you're just not ready to get married yet.
There is nothing classier, after all, than someone with a classist mentality. But gentlemen, here's a reminder. A woman that genuinely cares about you is going to want you to invest your money in something that is important, long-lasting, and for the future, not just to spend it on them.
White male veterans are the worst people who have ever walked this earth.
Fascinating. That's bigotry times 3.
That is exactly what I have learned in my last 9-10 months on this app.
So naturally, all of that experience makes them a subject matter expert.
Is that white male veterans are the worst and most entitled people to have ever walked this country.
Really? And how, I wonder, did someone come to such a educated conclusion?
These men think that they can have a job. It's a job.
Oh, bless their little heart.
For 2 to 4 years, sit behind a desk.
They are really letting their expertise show here, aren't they?
Not ever be in active combat, and then try to weaponize that against the rest of their communities, and especially women, for the rest of their lives.
For those that don't know, this is otherwise known as the logical fallacy of composition. It's when a person takes the actions of some members of a particular group and applies it to all of the members of that group. It's actually how a lot of people try to justify bigotry.
The veterans are the worst group of people on this app. Hands down, bar none.
I can think of a few worse examples.
They spend the rest of their lives weaponizing their service to justify their hate.
And so speaks the voice of experience, because they are using some of their bad experiences with some members of a particular group to spread hatred. It's almost like they are exactly the type of person that they are talking about.
That's all they do. They're trash. They're actual trash.
I'm just going to leave this last part here. If anyone would know what trash is, I think we found the expert.
You know, there's so many interesting concepts out there about how modern women believe that men are destroying themselves. There was one concept I was talking about. a patriarchy and how a patriarchy equals me. But then a patriarchy or a matriarchy equals we. And so they say, you kind of think of a matriarchy. It's not really a hierarchy. It's more so sitting in a circle, and you're sitting in a circle, and the circle is protecting the vulnerable and children, basically. So the weak in society, it's the matriarchy is protecting those types of people. The problem with that sort of thinking, and this is the type of thinking that a lot of modern women have, and men are tired of it, is when you get down to it, a man is not going to have the option to be weak. He's not going to be one of the vulnerable. If he gets hurt in war, he might be included in that weak and vulnerable and needing more help. He might, but it's usually going to end up being women and children, because even if a woman tries to stand, she's gonna get knocked out. She's gonna get knocked out of there, so she's gonna be in the vulnerable category. And a lot of modern women are gonna see that and be like, I don't want that, and they're going to be in the vulnerable category, right? And then you have the children. So by default, modern women women in general are going to put themselves in the vulnerable category with the children. So you're just going to end up protecting them as a man anyway. That's what it's going to come down to. And we're going to go right back to the same structure that we had. And a man is going to be like, because essentially what modern women want to do, and this is why men have a problem with that, they want to control, they want to do nothing but control everything. They want to have this idea of, well, what I say goes. I'm smart. That's why they go get an education. I'm smart and I'm educated. I can speak at length about what I'm talking about. So because I know what I'm talking about and I'm educated about it, you need to listen to me without having any practical experience, without having any idea of what's going on. They just want to run around and blabber their mouth about what they read in a book somewhere. You don't know what you're doing. Well, I heard this person say this and I heard that person say that. Have you done it? Okay, then shut up talking. Be quiet. That's where men get, and that's why when a man comes off aggressive, that's why. Right there. There was a woman complaining because a man went from 0 to 100 on her. Oh, why are men like this? Why are you not thinking about it like a woman? I don't have time to think like a woman. I have to take care of my family. I have to run my business. I don't have time to think like that. All I can think about is, how do I make this business work? How do I get this off the ground? How do I feed my family? Every single day, every single day. Every hour of the day, pretty much. If I'm not thinking about how to run that business, I'm thinking about how to raise my kids, how to take care of my family. And sometimes I'm still thinking about how to run that business while I'm taking care of my kids and having fun, because that's my livelihood. That's how it goes. Well, it should be able to do a lot of things, but the reality of it is, this is the way it goes. So y'all, modern women throw out these concepts, and you're like, all of that sounds fantastic. It sounds like a utopia, but the reality of it is, this is the way it is. Men are living in reality. Modern women are living in delusion. So any type of system that you come up with, it probably sounds great, and there are probably elements of it that you can work in. There are probably elements of it that you can definitely take and use, for sure. But as a whole, these modern women are not considering the reality of what is actually going on.
You married a man with feelings, with emotions, with needs. And somewhere along the way, a lot of us started treating him like a paycheck, or the handyman, or the chauffeur that makes life easier. But that man you come home to has a heart. He wants to feel wanted. He wants to feel seen. He wants to feel more than the guy that just fixes things or drives you around. And I get it. Wives, we carry a lot too. But sometimes we forget that our husbands are not machines. They are people. They are partners. They are the same person we used to get butterflies over. And you still should. So ask yourself, when was the last time you touched him without him asking? When is the last time you looked at him like he mattered? When is the last time you let him feel like your man and not your employee? Because marriages do not fall apart from one big moment. They crack little by little when we stop treating each other like humans with actual needs. Your husband is more than a provider. He's more than a helper. He's a person that wants to feel loved by you.
Men have convinced other men that vulnerability isn't strength. And the problem with that has resulted in a lot of mental health issues because now they feel like they can't talk about anything. They have to be the strong, macho man all of the freaking time. But everything in life that has real, true growth is when you actually get real and vulnerable with yourself. Stop putting on a front to show off for other people. The thing is that if you are allowing yourself to be vulnerable and emotionally inept and tapped in with yourself and your person, okay, you don't have to be, vulnerable with everybody, okay? You be vulnerable with your circle. You choose the right people to be vulnerable with, and that can only make you stronger. The more you try to fake it, you can't heal what you hide. And I know it's coming from a woman. Oh my God. But for real, you can't heal what you hide. Because I used to be the type of person that I thought I had to be Miss Macho because my dad passed away when I was in high school and everybody else wants to freaking play games out here. And no, absolutely not. I used to think I had to be strong all the time, Miss Independent, because nobody else got me. But the thing is that when you are vulnerable with the right people, they can only push you to grow further. That's the truth about vulnerability. And the lies that are getting told to you otherwise are on purpose so that you cannot grow. The whole world is designed for you to not grow and be stagnant.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a bus operator.
So you can act like right when the white man's money's on the line.
Unfortunately.
See how that works, gentlemen? See how that works? When her holding it down is jeopardized, that white paycheck is on the line, then all of a sudden these sassy, slick-mouthed women, they can show act right.
It's not easy. I live in LA and
listen to all these excuses.
I don't have no kids.
So what, you don't have any kids? What do you mean settle? You're a bus driver.
You're gonna make me press that.
I just want you guys to think for a second that the world we live in, to where a sassy attitude, sassy mouth bus driver thinks she's settling for somebody. Y'all don't understand how bad you guys have gotten, because you're on here talking about how hard it is. You exactly where you sound like you need to be, by yourself.
I tried to follow, your advice. I don't know.
Why is it so hard for you to behave?
Because I'm going to express myself.
We're talking about just simple common decency and respect. And I said, how would your exes tell me they experience you? And you said it. They would probably tell you, I have a bit of an attitude, which is a whole lot, and a slick mouth. Well, see, that's the problem. You ladies are able to talk crazy to men with no consequences. So now what men are doing is just avoiding you. You can't even give it away. Men don't want to tolerate this. We haven't even got to the important stuff because you're just out of control. That's fine. Do you think that gets better with age?
No, I only get older.
You also need to admit that you're a bum because in the caption you said you also have no income. We not checking for a 35-year-old bum, auntie. You're not even worthy of being on clearance. At this point, we should just pick you up in the trash out the back. Come on, are we serious? Men cannot come online and just brag about being bums. On top of that, she's mentioned in the caption she had men that already offered her everything. A 3-bedroom house. They were ready to have kids, but she turned it down because she thought she was deserving of more. You're Dennis Schroeder. You had an $84 million deal on the table from the Lakers, but you said no. So guess what? You got to sign for 5 M's now at Boston. Clearance, you're done. We don't even want you because you don't got no money, no income. At least you gonna be old, at least be old with some money. You can't be old and you're broke, poor. You're done, auntie, you're done. Stick a fork in it, you're done. You're done, you're done. Pack it up, pack it up. You really need to have an intervention at the house, man, because your time is up. And gentlemen, if you're struggling with your dating life, you want to align with the high-value women. You have women that are just draining you. They're 35-year-old bums. You want women that you're actually attracted to, that can actually elevate your current position, then DM me up. I'll fly to you in person. I'll fix your approach, your presentation, and also your close rate so that you can have the dating life that you deserve.
And you hear these women talk about the patriarchy and how we need a complete shift and a complete change, and how we're able to birth. Thought I saw a woman somewhere in the comments talk about, I birthed 4 men. We create arms, we can create balls, we create this, and this. You give yourself too much credit, which is why you end up in the same situation that you're in right now, complaining, doing nothing about anything. You do understand, unfortunately for you maybe, that once again, a man can manipulate the environment unlike you can. And instead of just going with the flow, and it'd be almost like, I can't swim. I took lessons to swim. I can't swim. And somebody comes up alongside me, watching me doggy paddle through a pond, and says, listen, follow me. Oh, I can't do it. Okay, well, hold on to me. I can swim. Well, what's in it for you? Well, I saw that you had a key to whatever treasure chest. You need to know how to get to the island. I can swim. I can get us there. And you can give me the key and we can unlock it and we can both split the treasure. Deal? Deal. You don't have to be able to swim. You just have to have the key. You have a lot of things as a woman that a man doesn't have. The man says, okay, if you can do that, I'll do this stuff over here. That's it. But because modern women want to continue to, oh, I can do it myself. I'm learning how to swim and I got the key, so I don't have to share. Which is why you're going to fail in the long run. It's not that you have the key and then you know how to swim and you want to learn how to swim. It's, okay, I have to swim over there now. And then I have to find the treasure chest. And then I have to fight off every snake or crocodile or thing around the treasure chest. And then I have to pull the treasure chest out onto the island. And then I have to make sure that nobody's coming around me and trying to get the treasure chest. And then I open it. And then I have to try to empty out the spoils. And then I have to try to take the spoils, somehow swim back to where I can use the spoils. You see what I mean? It becomes a long list of things that you have to do in order to get where you're trying to get. And men are saying, why would you do that? Maybe I can build us, even before we get there, while you're going and looking for something, I can build us something, a shelter, to where you can start planning where we're going to put this stuff at, what we're going to do with it, right? I can build us a ship if we need to go back. Shoot, we can take that, we can both drag it, 2 hands onto the ship, and we can sail back to wherever we came from. What I need you to do is stay back at the camp that I built for you and make sure that every day, because it's going to be a process, every day when I come back home, I have food to eat. I have supplies. I have clothing. I have protection, whatever it might be. So you don't have to do all of the work, and neither do I. But somewhere along the way, modern women and feminists continue to say, well, I'm doing both. I'm going out there and hunting, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I'm doing more work than you actually. No, you're not. You're doing the same amount of work, maybe even less than me. But because you think in your brain you are, and you say you are, then your brain believes that it's true because you say it over and over again. That's not the case. I don't want to say that you're not important, but you're not that important.